Right now on Up with KREM, crisis care now expanding to all of Idaho as COVID hospitalizations soar.
Our ICUs are not only full, they're overflowing.
The FDA advisory panel meets today on a plan for Pfizer booster shots. The debate over whether all Americans need a third dose.
An incoming storm is going to bring days of rain to the inland Northwest. We've already seen slight improvements in our drought this week. This is going to do wonders.
960 students will be moving in here at EWU, and coming up, I'll explain the rigorous COVID-19 protocols the students will have to go through.
Up with KREM begins now with Tim Pham, Channing Curtis, and Jeremy Legoo.
Well, good morning and happy Friday, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis. Well, it's our top story of the day as hospitals across the region are feeling the impacts of the rising COVID-19 hospitalizations. Washington hospitals are operating in contingency care mode, and Idaho entered crisis standards of care statewide this week. Providence announcing that they're pausing all non-emergency surgeries, and now employees are starting to worry about staffing shortages in Washington's healthcare system. So as a reminder, here are the basics of what crisis standards of care mean. Crisis standards of care is activated when hospitals get to a point where they just don't have enough resources. To put things simply, they can't provide the standard of care to every patient like they normally would. So what do we mean by a shortage of resources? Well, it could be anything from staffing to equipment. So if they don't have enough staff to treat the amount of patients coming in, or if there aren't enough ventilators, for example, to treat patients. Hospitals also may have to conserve limited resources, for example, lowering dosages of medication. In most extreme shortages, resources may be given to patients with cases more likely to have a positive outcome. So what happens from here? A shortage of ventilators, for example, might mean that someone less likely to survive due to an underlying condition would not be put on one. Instead, someone more likely to live would get that ventilator instead. But we want to be clear, this is not necessarily what will happen. It's just mentioned in the Idaho Health and Welfare's plan as a general approach to consider when it's activated. Now, Idaho is among the several states where the unvaccinated are being blamed for soaring hospitalizations.
Our ICUs are not only full, they're overflowing. The vast majority of our patients in our intensive care units are COVID positive. 98% of them are unvaccinated.
53% of adults in Idaho are fully vaccinated compared to 65% of adults nationwide. Now taking a live look at the U.S. Capitol this morning. Today, leaders at the FDA are expected to vote on a recommended booster shot for Pfizer's coronavirus vaccine. Now, studies have suggested a third Pfizer or Moderna dose could offer significant protection against serious COVID-19 illness. So here's how the approval process will work. The FDA's Independent Advisory Committee will review and discuss the latest data. If approved, the CDC will then decide who gets it. Some experts say that it's just too early to offer boosters to the general public. A recent Israeli study found that the extra shot significantly reduces the risk of severe illness. But in an article published in the medical journal The Lancet, a group of scientists said current evidence does not show a need for widespread use. Now, we'll continue to have full coverage of the hospital crisis across the inland Northwest all morning long on Up with KREM. But for the very latest information sent right to you, all you need to do is text the word COVID to 509-448-2000. We'll send all of the information that we have right to your phone. All right, time to take a look at the forecast. The time is now 6:02. It's another chilly start to the morning, but at least things will kind of warm up. And Jeremy, to be honest, it's September. I kind of want it to feel a little like fall out here.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to, right?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be around here, just slightly warmer in the mornings, definitely warmer in the afternoon, but hey, it's all part of getting this fall-like weather pattern. And after this summer, none of us are complaining. Temperatures are in the 40s right now. You're at 44 in Coeur d'Alene with a little less cloud cover, 36 in Sandpoint, 48 in Moses Lake. We're sitting at 47 here in Spokane. It is cloudy, it is overcast, and this precedes the round of showers trying to move in. A lot of this activity not quite reaching the ground just yet. Most of our moisture gets hung up in the Cascades. It does eventually start to work its way toward us, but that mostly stays off to the north today. Overnight, we'll see a splurge of moisture, and then tomorrow morning, widespread rain across the inland Northwest that continues on and off all weekend long. Come here, little boy. This right here is actually, well, okay, that's our forecast for today. But hey, Ham, come here. This right here is Little Hammer. Little Hammer came from Spokane. Kylie and I adopted him earlier this week. And so this morning I thought we'd bring him into work and just share him with everybody and say hi. And this little guy, well, he's a puppy, so he does what puppies do, but he's a good puppy and he loves just hanging out and being a part of it. So today, when temperatures climb into the upper 60s later this afternoon, well, we'll be out on the hiking trails trying to figure out how to go down a path in a straight line. Probably not going to happen. Back to you, Channing.
All right, thanks, Jeremy. Well, EWU students are moving into their dorms this morning. Such an exciting time. Nicole Hernandez is there now to explain what the university is doing to make sure that students are able to move in and stay in their dorms all semester long. Good morning, Nicole.
Hey, good morning, Channing. So like you said, move-in is officially happening here at EWU. The students will have the full weekend to kind of settle into their new homes before classes start on Wednesday. So EWU says 960 students are moving in between yesterday and today to start the fall semester here. All of them will have to take a rapid COVID-19 test though before starting their move-in process. If students test positive for COVID, they will have to go to specific isolation dorms for 10 days. They can also choose to go back home to isolate for those 10 days. EWU is also asking everyone to show proof that they're vaccinated. If a student is not vaccinated, staff will help them either ask for a religious or medical exemption, or they will help the student get vaccinated ASAP. If an unvaccinated student isn't working with the university, they could get a $250 fine. Of course, all of those logistics are just to make sure students stay safe and can have in-person classes. So last month, when the first round of students here at EWU started classes, we were able to speak with the EWU president. He said that most of the students he's been talking to are totally on board for these new protocols just because they're excited to go back to more of a normal in-person fall semester. In Cheney, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
It's time now for your morning rush. More news in less time. Quincy held a memorial service to honor Grant County Sheriff's Deputy John Melvin yesterday. Deputy Melvin died on December 11th from COVID-19 complications. According to the Grant County Sheriff's Office, it is believed Deputy Melvin contracted COVID-19 while working. He served with the Grant County Sheriff's Office for 35 years. A bus shortage is impacting students in Spokane public schools. A spokesperson for Durham says this is the greatest bus driver shortage it's ever experienced. Durham is working with Spokane public schools to transport students safely to and from school, and they say they're monitoring their routes on a daily basis. A new Lending Tree study ranks Washington as one of the most expensive states to raise a child. According to the study, it costs $22,679 annually to raise a child in the state, with $15,000 going toward infant daycare. Between 2014 and 2019, the cost to raise a kid in the U.S. went up by 25%. And a heartwarming update to a story from last month. The two dogs up for adoption at Bark, a rescue pup, have found their forever home. Cosmo and Spinach have been adopted together by a loving couple, and Cosmo will be able to get her leg surgery soon as well. Now, you might remember they were on our show when Bark was featured for Restaurant Week, and their owner passed away. And so we're so happy that they found a family to take them in. Two of the sweetest dogs you've ever met. So happy to hear that for them. Now that's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media. The COVID-19 pandemic produced a phenomenon known as the Big Quit or the Great Resignation. This morning, why many people are leaving their jobs in pursuit of greener pastures.
And we're going to take you outside, talk a changing weather forecast. We've got clouds moving in today and showers on the way. Those will start tomorrow morning and continue on and off all weekend long with high temps near 60. It's going to be cool and rainy, and it's going to feel a lot more like fall.